Greeting to every beautiful being. I'm starting my day off with some delicious blackberry juice. I added some mulberry for any women that are is looking to have something to wake up to and look forward to. One of my tricks of the day is having blackberry, all of the berries in one cup. So blackberry, raspberry, strawberry, and mulberry, and then I throw in some moringa along with some soursop leaves. And trust me, this is going to get your body ready for the day before, the day that is ahead. And then I start my day with some H3O, some delicious watermelon. It's so delicious, and it's watermelon season, so I'm just like indulging. But yes, you read the title. And we're continuing our season, our series of reclaiming my time and energy. Okay. So today's title is about why are women suffering from such a strong state of low self-esteem. I'm going to let you take this in before I get started. And everybody knows my mirror is a tool. So we all have, just so I can quickly explain, we all have our personality and our true self. And so I bring both in so that I can be a being of integrity and just allow the Ma'at in me to really be present while I give out and share this topic today. Like, because I feel like a lot of us have gone through a cycle where we have truly disconnected from our center, and it causes a domino effect of low self-esteem. And I've just recently had noticed, I had to go through it, but I had to really notice what I was going through in the past year. And I was actually, as an empath, taking in so much energy that I was accidentally taking it in as if it was my own energy. And so I also want to share this information because I know from past experience what it feels like to really go through the states of low self-esteem and what to do and how to get out of it. Okay, so let's get started, ladies. So let's really sit with this today, sisters, my beautiful womb sisters. Let's talk about something that so many of us carry quietly inside, and this is a deep lack of self-esteem. Today I was wondering, like, why is this wound so widespread among women? At its heart, self-esteem is about self-respect and confidence. It's a knowing of who you are and an unwavering love for yourself. Like, but how can you truly respect or honor yourself if you do not know yourself? Now, this question is truly like deep for me because, like, if you don't really know yourself, you won't even know when you are not being your true, correct design. And I felt like I had to go through a temporary, extremely temporary season of low self-esteem to truly get to know who and what I am truly designed to be, right? So many women today are deeply disconnected from their higher self. And that is that divine eternal part of, that you know exactly why you're here. So a lot of us may be separated from it, and that's that whisper of your purpose, and that's what holds your true power. Instead of turning inward and listening to that sacred sound, many of us have been taught to look outside of ourselves, to chase approval, to compete, to compare, to strive endlessly, and to measure up to standards that were never, never meant to honor our true essence. Many women are told to be beautiful but not bold. Okay? We're told to be strong but not too emotional. We're told to be independent but not too powerful. And so society continues and constantly gives us conflicting messages that pulls us farther away from our center and our truth as divine women. So I see a lot of women are chasing material achievement, obsessing over, body image and competing for superficial validation. mistakenly thinking that these things will finally make us feel enough. But truly, no amount of external success, likes, or compliments can fill that sacred void inside that only self love can truly nourish. So, when we don't know ourselves, I see that we don't truly understand the sacredness of our feminine energy. And that right there is important because I see that that is the lost art of who we are. We start to believe the lies that are projected onto us. Then we start to feel like we're not good enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not lovable. And so many of us have been so wounded by this system of patriarchy and the society that has historically devalued the feminine. And we've been taught that to have worth, we must become like the men. We must be masculine, take on their energy, take on their roles, their behaviors, their aggression, all while abandoning the softness, intuition, and spiritual powers that is our greatest gift. You feel me? So, but here today, I want to share this truth. We are not meant to be men. Okay, we're not meant to argue with them, combat with them. We're not meant to do anything with them. We are not meant to be the same as them. We were perfectly designed as women to complement, to balance, to dance together in a divine union. We are the yin and yang, the sun and the moon, the earth and the sky. So when we fight to be equal in a way that means in that way, I truly feel like we are abandoning our unique feminine essence, right? We don't gain power, we actually lose it. And I found myself like really like in loss of that at one point. Like I found when you find yourself as a woman advocating for your feminine energy, know that you have lost your seat of where you are. You have temporarily missat somewhere that you're not supposed to be sitting, right? You then it creates a domino effect where you lose connection to your womb wisdom, right? You lose connection to your heart center, knowing and this ability to nurture life in all its form, not just through children, but through ideas, art, healing, and love. So what could we do? Because many women today feels isolated because they've been taught to seek independence above all else, especially isolation. We've been taught to declare, I don't need nobody, or I don't need a man, or what I'm saying? We've been taught to protect our feminine, and because have been activating the masculine in such an extreme way that when we defend our feminine, we actually are not doing it in a state of balance, right? We allow the yang energy to take over. Like it's insane where it doesn't even know how to calm itself down. And so yeah, so what is the true strength that doesn't create these isolation, because like to me, true strength comes from connection. Like I had to connect to my higher self. I had to connect to spirit. I had to connect to nature, to my sisters, and yes, to sacred masculine in its highest form. I had to travel. Like when I noticed that I was out of sync, I had to let go so many things. My home, my business at one point, and I had to surrender. And when spirit had took me to my home country, Dominican Republic, aka Haiti, aka the Hispaniola island, I had to really dive into nature in such a unique way where I was being guided through spirit to really comprehend that a lot of things that had occurred to me was something that was projected by others. And because sometimes as an empath, if you don't understand yourself, again, this is why I say it's really important to truly comprehend who you are. It's really, really important because if you don't know yourself deeply, and you will continue to be a victim to life. And it's not something that is ideal for a being that was designed for greater well-being, right? So, knowing yourself, really studying who you are, gives you this ability to have authority of your self-esteem, or shall I say, esteem of self. So, I want to share these questions for with you that is for your soul, right? And these questions are going to be something that really helped me while I was in Dominican Republic. So, the question is, who am I when I strip away all the titles, all the roles, and the expectation? You know, the other question would be, do I live for external validation, or am I guided by my inner truth? Do I truly celebrate my feminine essence, or have I hidden her away out of fear? That's a really good question. Where am I denying my softness, my intuition, and my sacred power? Those are questions that I would love for you to like really tap into, because your self-esteem cannot come from outside. It can't come from no man. It can't come from your friends. It must be something that you tap in within yourself. It must be nurtured through deep self-knowing, through honoring your cycle, through daily acts of self-love, through sacred connection with the divine. Because when you're able to do that, like when you truly know yourself, that's when you truly remember that you are a goddess walking this earth. That's when you remember. It is a state of forgetfulness that's taken over you. Your confidence is going to become unshakable. You'll no longer shrink for anyone. You'll no longer chase for approval. You'll no longer accept crumbs of love. You know, especially for me as a lover girl, like like you can really get lost in the sauce if you don't know yourself. If you are the archetype of a lover girl, a rose archetype, you know, an Ezuli archetype, if you don't comprehend and study who you truly are, the people who are unable will try to able you into their limitation. When you know that you've come from a design of limitless pleasure, once you see that you're no longer receiving pleasure or experiencing pleasure, that is when you must take a look at yourself and really, really look into yourself. This is why the mirror is here. Really look into yourself and acknowledge what's going on. And with that acknowledgement is where the freedom happens. Then you take